Let me answer Michelle's question. Michelle says, just read that recent corporate layoffs are due to rising health insurance premiums as well as AI. Would love your opinion on how employees can set up their benefits to minimize job insecurity. Well, I don't know if you can minimize job insecurity by setting up your benefits differently. And I also think that the employee setting up their benefits is much different than corporate layoffs due to rising insurance premiums. That would have to be something that is overall a collective thing that lowers the cost of them being able to hire the employee. I'm going to be honest with you, Michelle. I don't think that any of the layoffs are due to rising premiums, nor do I think that the majority of the layoffs is due to AI. I don't. Most companies actually have enough attrition to, and when I say attrition, that means that people naturally falling off the payrolls, retirements, quitting, firing, moving over to a different job, changes, all of that. Most companies have more than enough attrition to account for or to just do a hiring freeze and then to pivot, right? So for people to say that it's because of AI, it's not. It's not. I made some phone calls. I had some conversations, and AI actually increases profits to allow for you to be more efficient. It does not warrant. Now, unless you're something like an Amazon or UPS or FedEx, in which they're implementing physical AI, all right? Physical AI is impacting jobs, meaning that, and Amazon still isn't laying off because of physical AI. Because you got to remember, man, listen, the one thing that I remember the most is that people always complain and it's always quitting and there's always a lot of turnover when it comes to Amazon. I've seen so many people complain, oh, they work us too hard. I went in one day and I quit the next. Amazon has always had a lot of turnover in their warehouses and stuff like that. Correct. AI will mainly affect lower skilled workers. So even if you want to say, for example, let's go into software engineering, right? If you use AI in any real capacity and then you went through and observed the source code, although it gets better, it makes a lot of mistakes. I would never give a prompt or develop a set of prompts and then depend solely on AI for my code, ever. Now, I would leverage it in order to help me be more efficient in what it is that I'm sourcing, right? Or what I'm developing, but ain't no way in hell that I would ever depend on AI and say that this is sufficient code for me to deploy or to put into production in an agile environment. No way, under no circumstance. So when people just say things, those are talking points. Those are things that the producers are feeding to the newscasters that don't know nothing about actually being in a corporate environment that then would force you to leverage these technologies. I'll go so far as to say that there's a lot of companies that are still trying to figure out how to use AI. There's a lot of companies that's still trying to figure out where they can deploy. You don't just get AI and say, oh man, we got AI. All right, so cool. We're going to replace all of these workers and that's it. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. I've talked to some of my colleagues back in both banks that I worked in. I've talked to some of my colleagues in mortgaging. I've talked to some of my colleagues that work for technology companies, like pure technology companies, and nobody is telling me, right? Because I had to make some phone calls for myself. I said, man, what is really going on? Nobody is telling me that they are literally replacing workers or workers are leaving because of AI and they're not bringing in nobody else. If you've ever worked in an agile environment, if you've ever worked in a production environment, you know that AI is nowhere near to the point to where you can use it to replace employees. Low-level workers, then it may be slower to hire, but it's not enough for you to actually justify laying off 30,000 people. That's bull. That's the biggest crock of nonsense that I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, companies may be looking at the bottom line and saying, hey, listen, we got a lot of health insurance premiums. We got this cost. We got this cost. Accounting, bean counters. They also look at capacity, right? So when I say capacity, they're looking at, okay, we got this much budget allocated towards this. This is what we spent last year. This is how much we have in billing. This is how much we got in contractors, so on and so forth. We may be able to bring this in-house. We may be able to cut this cost. We may be able to do this. This project is done. We can deploy that. We don't have to worry about that no more. And so we don't need this many workers. And so overall, we may need to eliminate 5,000 to 6,000 people because this project or our contract with this company is no longer needed. That may be a thing because they're looking at the overall cost of doing business. And so they may develop a program like One First. They'll call it something like One First, or still getting cost in line, right? And so they'll say, well, in order for us to get cost in line, we need to shave this much off of the budget because we have too many people and profitability is not going to be up and we need to be accountable to our shareholders. They are not laying off in mass only because of AI. That is a talking point that they use in order to get off so that the companies don't receive backlash and that workers are not revolting against the company because they are still publicly traded companies. AI is not replacing all of these jobs. We've just gotten to the point to where you can deploy it sufficiently enough to where you can actually be even remotely productive with it. So I'll give you another example. I looked at a Coca-Cola commercial where it was mostly AI. It was some of it was real and a lot of it was AI. They said that it took over 70,000 prompts to develop that commercial. 70,000 prompts to develop that commercial. Do you know how much manpower it takes to develop 70,000 prompts to develop that commercial? And I prompt all day, every day. I use AI, I deploy it. We bring in different stuff all the time. We're leveraging it in everything. That, you know how many prompts, 70,000 prompts is to produce a less than 2-minute commercial? Shit, they've spent more money using AI than they would have just shooting a regular commercial. It's not there yet. I use it every day. I talk to people that are using it. I just got the new Gemini update. I'm looking at what's going on with ChatGPT. I'm looking at all of the different companies that's getting swallowed up. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. I promise you it's not there yet. It's still in its growth phase, which is another thing that we talked about in the last stock club inside of Patreon, as far as capacity, chips, profitability, different sectors that's going to be affected. It's not there yet. I'm telling you, it's not there yet. It certainly is not there yet. So when these companies are lying, saying that, oh man, we got to do layoffs over AI, I don't believe it. Actually, the companies ain't saying it. It's the people, it's the pundits, it's the correspondents that are saying it. And I look at AI ads that be on some of these videos that I click on. So I go to click on a video and I forget that I'm not on premium on that particular account because I have been just uploading or doing something, whatever. And I click on it and I'm like, what is this garbage? And you can tell that it's AI. You can tell that it's AI. So it's not there yet. It's not there yet with movies. It's going fast. It's developing quickly. It's not there yet with movies. It's not there yet with engineering. It's not there yet with a lot of things. Now, you can deploy it, for example, in certain capacities when it came to production environments and things like that. But it's so not there yet. The audio be off. Everything be off. They be having 3 eyes and stuff like that. It's not there yet. It certainly is not there yet. So, but I've learned a lot. I've been using it every day for the last year. And I think I might, after we do block club, so we're going to do the business live streaming the Patreon, and then we're going to get in the block club. And before we go into the next stock club, I'm going to do another AI update because I want to show y'all how I'm leveraging it and how we're using it to increase profits and increase productivity. Then I'll do that. But it's not there yet. I think all of these companies is capping. I think they are just laying off because they're not as profitable as they once was. And their leadership is trying to make sure that they return shareholder value. That's it. That's it. So that's my long explanation. I think that costs are up. And so cost cutting has always been a part of the corporate environment. What do you think of the resources needed to power AI. They have to get more efficient with that. That's where I think that we should start leveraging alternative energy sources. That's where I think that we can start leveraging alternative energy sources. I don't think that we get rid of traditional energy sources, clean coal, natural gas. I think that we need to drill our own oil and stuff like that. But when you're talking about solar and wind energy, I think that that's how you can start to get into these data centers that is draining resources in different communities. I think that that's where you start to deploy clean energy. That is where you start to deploy clean energy. I don't think that it comes from overall infrastructure. I think that clean energy needs to be used for project-specific developments. When you talk about the energy used to keep these data centers running, water, all of that, every major company needs to be a good steward of the data centers that's being built. The problem with that is that you have so many small communities competing for tax dollars that they're willing to let these billionaires and these multi-billion, trillion-dollar companies build anywhere that they want to. So that's my thoughts on it. I would be more concerned about the new robots instead of artificial intelligence right now, possibly, in my opinion, of course, about the new robots instead of artificial intelligence right now. Well, they all go hand in hand. I don't think that you have one without the other. Artificial intelligence specifically is going to affect physical AI. My wife did an associate's RN, Henry Ford, then did bridge courses for a BSN and U of D. Nurse practitioners, its doctorate program in Michigan. Shout out to your wife. She killing it. I know she making a lot of money. Hold on to your wife. King DJ Trick says, thank you, Anton. Can you tell people most AI isn't even in artificial intelligence yet? It's still in searching the web form for predetermined responses based on your question. It is. It is. It 100% is. It's a more efficient Google. That's all it is. AI right now is a more efficient Google. That's it. And then when y'all go on ChatGPT, y'all are basically training it to respond to you according to how you communicate with it. All y'all doing is finding another man. All y'all doing is finding another man. When I say that you train men how to treat you based off of how you deal with it, that's what you're doing. When y'all talking to ChatGPT, you're training the model to treat you or to talk to you or to answer you a certain way. In the same way that you talk to a man. They not even, look, most people, y'all are paying for credits and tokens and subscribing, and you're not even using it for business purposes. I don't use AI for personal purposes. I use AI strictly for business. Y'all are training it and talking to it and using it. Most people are using it as a form of therapy. Most people are only using it as a form of therapy. They're not using it for what its true capacity to be is, to make more money, to make your businesses more efficient, to stand up and use it from a marketing perspective. None of that, honestly. It's so dumb to see that probably 98, 99% of people that are using AI are using it for stupid purposes. Anyways, it's their prerogative, AD. Damn. Listen, I don't care what y'all use it for. When y'all cut off this show at the end of the day, you're going to go and do whatever you want to do with it. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. So my mind always tries to figure out, well, where is the money in this thing? If you're just using it for fun purposes, God bless you. I'm not on the internet because I like to have fun. And I've always said this. If there was no money in this shit, I wouldn't be on the internet. I wouldn't even have an Instagram account. I wouldn't even have a TikTok. I don't do technology for fun. I do it for money. As a software engineer, the goal was for me to figure out where the money is. I was not on there to try to figure out how I can have fun and put stars in the air. So listen, if y'all like it, then I love it. But I'm not here for the games. I'm here for the money.